Alright, we got another RavenCourt game, and this time it is Brax's Holdout. So, players have been shuffled around again, and as you can see, there's a few more playing here too. I already alluded to it the other day that there's obviously more players than only Cure playing cross-server. And in this case, we now got Madara in the game. So, Mr. Uchiha himself is going to rocket for the blue team. I'm actually fairly excited. It's always nice to... The cool thing about the whole concept of having an in-house league, an in-house system, or an in-house bot is simply that you force people to play with players they usually would not play with. So that could eventually result in maybe even a couple of language problems. Usually everybody on the European side speaks English, but some speak it better than others, so communication problems could be a thing. There's also the question who shot calls for a team, for example. And sometimes you will just have one or two players on your team that are not just quite on the same level as the rest, so you have to compensate for that somehow. Now, that makes games interesting because more mistakes happen than when you have just these established teams go up against each other. Of course, those tournaments are also super interesting and important, but having something like this every now and then is kind of cool. And I gotta say that over the last couple of months and even the last year, I think in the Heroes of the Storm esports scene, we had some very nice tournaments that were shaking things up. We had our standard tournaments. Good example would be the offline tournament in Miami last year, where we had the best teams come together from all regions. We had the Nations Cup, another offline tournament where we had teams playing together for their country. We had Meta Madness with established teams but different rules. And now we have like an in-house series with mixed teams, which will eventually also funnel into a tournament. So lots of stuff honestly happening that really mixes things up and shakes it up so that we always see a little bit of a different twist to the tournament structure. And I don't know, I kind of like it. It's kind of nice. It's not really easy to keep Heroes of the Storm esports alive, as you can already imagine. Honestly, at this point, I would like to give a big shout out to my Patreons too. So the people supporting me on patreon.com/Khaldor has been going on for a while, and things like that really help to set all of these up, obviously. I've been talking about just like channel support for a while right now, but it's one of the main reasons why we can do things like this in a game like Heroes of the Storm, and I believe that over the last few years we've done a pretty good job keeping the game alive there. Especially, of course, with the assistance of people like Kevin hosting events in Miami and then also in Berlin. But yeah, we've... Considering that Blizzard has abandoned the game nearly 5 years ago, we still have a pretty healthy competitive scene, which is crazy, honestly. It's kind of bonkers. But yeah, it is what it is. So in our game here, Zarya gets banned out. We are on Braxis, so a 2-lane map, which immediately caters more towards heroes that have mobility, oftentimes. Lucio falls into that category, obviously. Jojo for some extra wave clear. But when it comes to mobility, the blue team already has a bit of a lead. Nubarak can easily traverse terrain, so can Junkrat. Genji has of course been banned, but they could still pick a few more heroes down that category. I mean, even Karazin gets picked on Brax's Holdout oftentimes because he has that mobility as well. He can easily dash to a target, so if you're not relying on Brightwing, then that is another one that you can utilize. When it comes to the offlane, of course, Hogga, Blaze, Rexa, all good heroes that you can really have a huge impact with. And then for the bot lane damage, oftentimes we're seeing even Gul'dan played there. Lots of wave clear, can also burn these objective waves down very quickly. So, time will tell. Sergeant Hammer banned? Yeah, I mean, honestly, looking at it, I'm not quite sure if Sergeant Hammer was really on the menu. Hammer can be really annoying, but it seems to me that they're more so trying to play a composition that is more mobile and can really adjust, rotate, and then get either access to the objective or get a few quick kills. So, the next two picks here will definitely tell what we're looking at. Rhaegar and Tychus, alright, a little bit more stationary. Madara is going straight into Odin, I suppose. Did we have a game the other day also here with Drill? They actually won that. 0 drill value in my opinion, but yeah. It's going for an auto attack style with that build, so I don't know what that was that. Rhaegar is their support. Whereas for the red team, it's now a bit of a moment of truth. What's going to be the side laner? Ooh, Zagara for Rutsu, and we get Blaze. Taking a little bit of a page out of Dino's playbook, yeah. Zagara on Brex's holdout, and we get the Panda up at the top. Nice. It's Panda time. Alright, boys. Brex's holdout. Let's jump straight into it. Our next map here at the RavenCourt. Game on! Madara on Tychus for the blue team. We got Soaking on Chen, Lopaka on Junkrat, Dark Reader on Anubarak, and Blu-ray playing Rega. On the side of the red team, we got Sven on Blaze, Captain Rex with Lucio, Rutsu is playing Zagara, good to have him here, Fish on Johanna, and Evixos is playing Maiev. And apparently has been a naughty boy over here, so no. Again, guys, you want to have more information, you watch this on YouTube, you jump into the description of the video. There's a link to the RavenCourt website where you can see also rankings, more information, all the data. They have also tiered crowdfunding to get more support. You'll see more about the tournament itself and can familiarize yourself a little bit with the entire concept and maybe also participate there. So make sure that you check it out and have a look there. Links are all provided. Once again, a jump is coming in, and now down to the bottom of the map. We got the Spanish boys doing their thing here. So Drake at the front together with Lopaka. It's currently a 5 versus 4 because Soaking up at the top is all alone with Chen. Unfortunately using the wrong skin. We obviously know that for Chen the only valid skin is War Master Chen with a white tint. So if you really want to style it up with Chen, that's just unfortunately what you have to go for. There is no other valid choice. The jury has been out and it has been decided. We had a vote and the only proper skin for him is War Master Chen in black and white. That's the only thing that you can really go for. Everything else is just second best, you know, so yeah. But down here, first camps are going to be claimed. Obviously, we're going to wait for the beacons. Topside fight is going to be interesting, but I also have my eyes on Zagara because we don't see her too much. So let's see what they can pull off for that. Camps are already coming slowly into play. Lucio is starting to annoy people a little bit over here. It's not like he can really do anything about it. The best that he can hope for is annoy them enough to just say like, hey guys, I'm here, and you don't know if some of my teammates are going to come and join me soon. But the attacks are now coming. At the bottom of the map, it's a quick double play. We have a lot of wave clear there too with Jojo and of course Zagara, so you can get easy access to all of this. Whereas up at the top, talking about access, first blood is happening. Blaze goes down. Little bit of control at least on the beacon, so they're getting some progress on this with 12% that they already locked in for themselves. Rutsu down to the bottom is going to give Lopaka a run for his money. It's highly unlikely that Junkrat is going to be able to push this out, but at the top, it's a very different picture because here we got the real attack now starting up. Master Assassin, by the way, is a level 4 talent, so again going for Odin with the passive triggering on Odin as well. It's a bit unlikely that it's going to complete the quest, but that passive attack speed increase is still very sexy. Especially, of course, once that you have access to your objective. And they're really fighting for this. I mean, damn, it's 56% already on the progress bar. But Lucio gets lulled to death. So he's gone. Nicely done by Madara. Again, another American, another boy from the US playing cross-server here. So they get 3 kills in total. And Madara is going full Tychus on them and just burns them into the ground. So extremely well played. And that not only gives them access over the beacon. By the way, 96% to 0. So despite the fact that they got 3 kills and that the red team barely missed out on locking the objective in, they are now heavily ahead. Even if the blue team gets the thing, since this is not a winner-takes-all objective, that would still be, or is still, a big victory for them one way or another. Important to note though that with the kills, they couldn't get too much done yet. They broke up the top wall, but death timers were still like incredibly low since we're so early in the game, so they didn't gain a lot of map control through it. I mean, it certainly helped, don't get me wrong, but it's not like they had an entire half level to work with here. Zagara killed by Chen down at the bottom of the map. The big panda went for the space bug and took her down. Obviously they have to deal also with the creep tumors, and Soaking is doing exactly that, so trying to stake them down one step at a time. And Sven gets caught again. Yeah, tries to tap it up at the fountain, but couldn't do anything here either. At least the Zerg wave is now completed. So he died, but he died for a good cause. They get 100%, 216. So died for that. And now the big question is obviously what can they do with this push? Because up to this point they haven't gotten a single kill. They have also fallen behind by an entire level. And yeah, now they need to at least get something out of the objective that they just conquered. Because with that big of a lead on the objective at least, they have to do something to come back here, but it seems like they're gonna lose Rutsu. Maybe not. Nicely done by Lucio. Well played. So Lucio saves the day for them. Seems like Drak here on the Nubarak might die, and he gets pretty much hammered, but is not getting tethered by Maiev. And instead of Rhaegar just dying, he turns around, is a bit feisty today, and takes down Lucio first. So nicely done. Well played. Absolutely loving this. Rhaegar just saying, wait a second, wait a second, wait a second. You mean I'm dying here? I mean, then I might as well bite Lucio a little bit and take him down too. So, kill for a kill. Well done. Nicely executed.
Here we go.
Here we go, indeed. Okay, so, with camps taken, teams still looking at a big difference in kills, which leads also to an advantage in experience for the blue team. And honestly, I feel there's already quite a lot of pressure on the red team, because if you are that far behind at level 8 and your opponent is getting closer to level 10, once level 10 hits, you have to give up the objective, maybe even the boss. This is really not looking good. They need some counter kills, and they need them quickly. They can't just simply sit there and take this the entire time. Especially since we now have roaming death squads on the map that take Zagara down again. So that's kill number 8 in favor of the blue team. They're just doing too well here. Full control from them, really looking good. Half a level until 10, and this is just rough. I mean, this is really tricky now. Because once that the objective is announced, hasn't been yet, so I guess that's good news for the red team. But once that level 10 hits, you can go for boss, you can go for the remaining camps. When the objective gets announced, you get easy control there. If you don't want to go for the boss, you can instead just try and push for the topside fort and take that out first, which also gives you an advantage over the next objective. And they are again trying to get kills here. So Lucio is moving from lane to lane in an attempt to prevent it from happening. But there are rogue abilities, and they immediately pull Odin, start to go for the fort at the top. And of course, once the fort is destroyed, the fountain gets destroyed as well, which would result in them not having any sustain on the top lane anymore. Getting a kill on a Nubarak like this, on the other hand, that is the best thing that could have happened to them. So the red team is finally showing some teeth here. They came in, they took down a Nubarak, didn't even go for Cocoon or anything. So the problem is, not only did that give a huge chunk of experience over to the red team, it also helped them to defend the fort. Like, what the hell? Huge advantage for the blue team, and it did nothing. Nada. Absolutely nothing. So now the objective is up, and both teams are starting to claim control again over the two beacons. But that was big for the red team. This was huge. This could have been an utter disaster, but instead they take down an Nubarak, they force them back, they don't lose their fort, they don't lose a boss, they don't lose anything else. Now the blue team even has double control on the beacon, and Soaking is going to be able to hold this down at the bottom of the map for much longer. They're looking great here. Yeah, so another kill. Blue team apparently not too happy with them not getting too much out of their advantage earlier, so now they're hoping for an objective. Keep in mind the first one was claimed by the red team with 100% to, I believe, 18-16, but now things are looking much better for them. With the exception of the caster curse hitting and a Nubarak getting killed. So a noob gets taken down too. 92, 94, 98%! And we have another one of these situations where one team just barely falls short of claiming the objective. It's getting a bit ridiculous here. Quick tether on Junkrat. He's still fine. Yeah, Zagara gets taken down again. This is a big problem with the Zagara. I mean, again, she doesn't really have a big hit point pool. She's extremely squishy, so whenever she gets attacked, she's easily taken down, and this just becomes problematic when you're targeted like this. So Zagara is gone. That's the third time that she's been destroyed. They gotta give position up again, and this is gonna result in a huge Zerg wave. 100-0 is what we're gonna get here in favor of the blue team. This will eliminate the top fort. The question is more so what's gonna happen down at the bottom of the map. You get the minimum 18 here, obviously, but still. 28,000 for Tigers. We got 16,000 damage for Maiev, who's by the way top damage for the team. And yeah, right now they are claiming some camps and go again for Zagara in an attempt to get another kill on Rutsu. Can't quite make it happen. Ancestral is already out. Was more of a zoning more than anything else. But the attack is coming and the attack is hitting. It's hitting hard. The top fort has been destroyed very quickly. Here comes Odin as they pop that again. And of course, right now they are going to aim to destroy the keep as well. If they can do that or not, that's a very different question considering we're only 9.5 minutes into the game. But with level 13 talents right now, that's of course another big lead they could utilize for themselves. Soaking moves out, is going to survive this. What about Sven? What about... seems like both Lucio and Blaze are making it out, but the keep is going to take damage, and if they're going to get another kill here, the blue team definitely has a shot of eliminating the keep. But even just damaging it and opening all of this up the way that they do is already a big victory. So structurally, they've now pulled ahead. Beautiful isolation of Zagara. Nicely done. Junkrat and Chen kegging it up, working in tandem here. Really playing well around this. The pressure still applies to the top keep. They nearly got it destroyed. They can poke from a distance with a talent advantage that they're also running over their opponent. But that was just so well done. Chen and Junkrat just executing this beautifully. And honestly, if Chen has to commit Sudoku here, then just do it, dude. That's the keep that we're talking about. You gotta destroy this, and they do. Keep is gone. They can fall back now. 11 kills to 3. This is just looking great. Really well done with the momentum that they built up earlier. Snowballing this one hard after they got the objective and all of those early game kills. Now they still hold on to the 1 level advantage. Plenty of camps on the map that they can now go for. But yeah, for the red team, they have to think how to bring this back. If they have to throw a Hail Mary at the boss eventually, if they can just push with their own camp. It's even talents for now. Catching Chen would be great, but yeah, he still has the keg available. Top shelf plays right here as he kegs away. The disc is connecting nicely with Nubarak though, so maybe they can go for Drake again. But even he still has his abilities up and can easily dive out. Tries to force a fight maybe himself now with the cocoon, but nobody's following. Because the problem for them was that Madara is at the top. Tigers is still pushing the lane out. Won't be able to do a lot. Big Maw, by the way. Big chokehold Maw, and that could be a disaster. 1 down, 2 down. Easy peasy. Getting a few kills here. Yes, somebody has to fall back to defend the core, but Tigers could only get them some experience. Madara with an absolute disgusting mount, by the way. Dude, what is this? This is an insult to the eyes, if anything. Can't accept that. That's an F in my book. Can't get any brownie points for that. Bottom fort falls, so they capitalized on the double kill. Still trying to get another one, and as the disengage slowly starts to happen, let's also take another quick look at that Maw setup that we had. So, big triple Maw, and then of course the follow-up. They just walked into this one. They just walked into that. 11 kills to 5. So, I gotta give some credit to the red team. They are getting... I don't want to say crushed, but they had a rough time. They're still fighting back here. Tooth and nail. They lost their top fort, they lost the top keep, so they're definitely behind. But they now destroyed 1 fort. They got a couple of kills. They're starting to close the gap in experience a little bit. Beacon control will be tricky once the blue team has level 16. You don't want to engage into a fight with an opponent that has 16 talents. But now they're opening this up a little bit further. Bottom of the map, that's more of a problem. There's still half a level that they need to bridge until they have their own level 16 talents, but they're doing what they can. Tether is there, they try and get the kill. Blaze, Chen, they both arrive. Objective still ticking towards the blue team. You want to prevent that from happening. Blaze, careful, still has a bunker up, has to use it too. Maw, on the other hand, is hitting Soaking. He's kegging strong, but it's Blaze that dies first, and with the Ancestral, Chen is kept alive. So now the top fort is losing hit points on the blue team side, but since they're going for another big objective, winning the entire thing just outright without the red team ever getting control over the objective, it seems like it is just a matter of time until the second keep and maybe even the core are getting destroyed here. Great play. Chen just crushing it there. Chen with a lot of keg plays for them. Zagara not working out the way they intended. They have level 16 talents now, but if that's going to be enough or not, that's a real different story. So once again, 12 kills to 5. We have 16 talents for both teams. The big push is coming. The top fort falls for the blue team, but what do they care? They trade a fort for a keep, and of course they are looking for more. They're looking to end the game here. They want victory. They want those juicy MMR points for the RavenCourt ranking to participate in the main Captain's Draft tournament. Rutsu gets isolated again and killed. Zagara stands no chance. Chen absolutely unleashed now as Jojo dies to another victory. Absolutely inevitable here now. 14 kills, 2-5. The core attacked. Chen falls, so does Lucio. The core will too. This is game well done. The blue team with a decisive victory on Brax's holdout. Well played, GG, and a great victory for the boys in blue. Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV. Cursed Hollow! Okay, we got another map coming up. And also, I have a question because we just started talking about this in chat. So this is actually something I'm a little bit curious about, and I want to see some comments if you're watching this on YouTube telling me what you think. How often do you guys shower? Because I shower every day at least once. And if I do sports, then I usually shower twice. So that was a bit of a debate because some of my friends told me that they don't shower daily, and it's really weird to me. And we now started a discussion in Twitch chat, and all kinds of stuff was floating around, like one saying, hey, if you shower daily it's not good for your skin, which I refute immediately. As long as you are using some kind of lotion, cream or whatever, I believe that counteracts that immediately, and I had no skin issues my entire life. But it's, for me personally, it's really weird to skip showering for a day or two. I mean, if it happens for a day, you know, it's a really big problem, and I guess if you're out camping, obviously that doesn't count either. I'm really talking about your daily life and your normal routine at home. But I'm a bit curious because I was told by one of my friends that I'm the weird one, and I was just like, really? Is that a thing? Because to me it's obviously normal, but I'm a bit curious if this really applies or not. But yeah, to me it's definitely important. Then again, I also have to admit that I obviously do sports nearly daily, and when I do sports, I obviously sweat, so you want to shower afterwards. But yeah, I can't imagine going multiple days without taking a shower outside of, you know, you're being like on a trip in the outback or whatever, or like you're just like camping or whatever it is. Then your options might be a bit more limited. But at home, not really. But again, kind of curious, so let me know. We obviously find ourselves in another game here at the RavenCourt, and Cursed Hollow is now our map, which I'm personally very happy with because Cursed Hollow is a map that I personally enjoy a lot. And we have a very nice setup. So if you're not really familiar with this, there's a link in the description of the video if you want to have more details about the RavenCourt, and also check out the crowdfunding that are running with this for the upcoming tournament, and with a couple of goals that they've set for that too. But the interesting thing here is that we now have both of the Americans on the same side. So Madara and Q are playing together. So the RavenCourt bot is designed to try and create even matches based on the MMR that these players have with the bot. And obviously those MMR numbers change when that you start playing more and more games with the bot. And this entire in-house league system is based on it. So we've already had some really exciting games and extremely well-coordinated ones too, with like core rushes and whatnot. But right now we have for Cursed Hollow Maitri with Hogger, so that one quickly gets taken. Blaze, Diablo on the other side, so already a very beefy front line. I just want to see what the two Americans are doing here. Since all of these games are being hosted on the European server, it's already huge that they're playing cross-server anyways. Usually doesn't happen too often. The Europeans obviously were in the past way more willing to play on the American server and play with that ping disadvantage. Americans are normally very hesitant on that and don't really like to do that. Cure was for a long time the only exception. Now we have Madara and a few others that have joined too, and I think it's awesome. I really like it, so big shout out to them. But we get Hanzo now, we get Rhaegar, and we had interesting games. It's just pretty cool to see how these games with the bot are all coming together here. So, let's see. I mean, for now, what we have is no frontliners yet for the blue team. So we still need that. Yeah, Sergeant Hammer gets banned out here. No globals it either. I mean, Cursed Hollow is one of those maps where you normally see the Haka or Falstad. They're good choices that you can definitely play. But for the side lane, unless somebody is willing to go into a triple, we're not going to get that. So, yeah, Falstad could still be played if they want to go for a global. Brightwing obviously has been banned out, so that's not really an option here. Yeah, could also be that both of the teams just decide to play without a global at all, but there's the birdie. Okay, so the bird is in, Falstad is taken. They have Anduin as their support for Banana Age. Now, of course, Genji has been removed, so no way to go for a light bomb engage. And yeah, now on the left, the final two picks for them. They still need a main tank. And they gotta decide if they want to go for a triple frontline, yes or no. If they do, then the Haka would be the weapon of choice, I assume. And we get Greymane and Jojo. Okay, Greymane, easy for the camps. Nice for bosses, of course, as well. I mean, if you have Hanzo and Greymane, you can melt these bosses down. You can really, really melt them down. And over on the right side for the final pick for our next RavenCourt game. What are we getting from Nano? I mean, traditionally, you would look either at Hanzo, who's already been taken, Chromie. We've had him on Mephisto, mages in general, strong for him too. And there's the Chrome Star. Chromie in the house. Cursed Hollow is the map, everybody. Let's head straight into it. Another RavenCourt match here with the two Americans on the blue team. Okay, the game is on, and well, apparently when you wash your hair too often you lose it, so that's the reason why I'm bald now. Nobody told me earlier. I thought it was only affecting skin, but yeah, that entire shower theory has all of a sudden taken a completely different twist now that we're heading into the actual game. So for the blue team, on the left side, we have somebody that definitely doesn't shower. That's Greymane. He smells like a wolf, he is a wolf. Madara plays him. Cure finds himself on Rhaegar, so the wolf duo here. might try on Hogger. Yeah, he stinks as well, so he definitely doesn't taking any showers either. Jojo, on the other hand, look at that hairstyle. Ion is playing her and Lopaka with Hanzo. I mean, he takes a shower every 5 minutes, you can tell, together with that soy latte and that manicure that he's getting for his fingernails. On the right side of the map, on the other hand, we got Banana Age. Now that they're taking Hogger down, yeah, they smelled him. So he wasn't a bush, but they could smell him because he doesn't shower. Banana Age on Anduin. We got Uki on Diablo. Blaze is played by Hireth here. Nano, of course, on Chromie. And Dead Inside down at the bottom of the map is playing Falstad, locking the global in. But, yep. Here we are. But then again, we have in the middle of the map still Chromie, played by Nano, and that's something that I wanted to highlight again. I already talked about it during the draft, but this is a hero that is oftentimes denied to him. So Nano is known for his Chromie plays, but also for his Hanzo plays. And since Hanzo was already removed in the draft and taken by the opponent's team, we now have Chromie doing her thing with that. Over on the left side, Madara, immediately as the camp spawn, finds himself in control of the Siege Giant camp. Greymane, of course, is fantastic for that. And just generally, when you're looking at their lineup, they have a team composition that is so damn good to take down every single camp on the map, including bosses. You have Hanzo, you have Hogger, you have Greymane, and I mean, even Rhaegar can help. So if they are somehow able to rotate properly to these boss camps, they should be able to take them extremely quickly. One good rotation is all you need, and you can do a ton with this. I like the traps that we are seeing from the red team on the other hand. And it works out again. So this time they take down Cure. He's eliminated too. That's the second kill that we now have from the red team. So a double kill for them. Well executed, and yeah, it was just nicely done. Setting up Chromie for the damage in particular. But yeah, up at the top, another push is coming, so they're going for the structures here just a little bit. In the middle of the map, on the other hand, it's still some more aggressions that we're currently getting. So they're starting to go for that wall again, hoping to eliminate the opponent's bruiser camp while pushing their own a bit deeper. Jet propulsion missed though. Nice use also of her trade by Jojo, but she's still not quite out of it. I really like the aggression that we're seeing from particularly the red team though. I love the potential that the blue team has with their composition to try and set up some sneaky plays around mercenaries, bosses, and just macro in general. But then again, you have Falstad on the other side, and you have, of course, also the aggressive performance that we've seen from the red team so far, as they're heading for another potential kill. Going for my try here. They aren't able to take him down, but it just fits perfectly with the pattern that they've been showcasing thus far. So, yeah, well done. But then again, down at the bottom, Kyo, he's doing his thing. Together with Madara. And the two Americans, look at them. Murika! Chromie gets killed, and Falstad too. So Falstad down at the bottom of the map. Hanzo gets eliminated. All of a sudden, this turns into an absolute slaughterhouse. 2 kills, 2-3, with the 2 US boys still being left alone at the bottom of the map, and that allows them easily to take this entire wall down if this continues. Nobody's even rotating over to them, so well done. They're getting everything here. And yeah, the red team is losing that advantage that they've built up earlier. They actually are behind now. By half a level, roughly. So, tricky. Up towards the top, we have my try. He's still holding his own against Sirath. But Falstad has now started to go for the next camp again. One tribute has been claimed earlier by the red team, and now they have a chance to go for a second one. This one spawns very nicely towards to their side, so they have a much better position to claim this one than the blue team, who could now, on the other hand, soon go for boss. Bosses spawn 5 minutes into the game, so there's definitely a chance. Lopaka falls then nearly flying on top of him. Stun is out against Madara, but they are starting to get cheeky here, as down at the bottom, Jojo's trying to interrupt. She's too late. Really unfortunate. The whole goal was to buy time for the top lane, which they haven't been able to do. So Falstad can escape, Blaze falls, and I guess if they are now being diligent and focus quickly on it, they should be able to take the fort down too. So it doesn't really, it's not really of too much of a consequence that Jojo wasn't able to disrupt them for longer, but would of course be nice to pin them down at the bot lane just a little bit more than that. Yeah, I'm talking about pinning things down. Well done. They're playing around the Iron Skin cooldown, and they take down Johanna, so she's gone. One eliminated. Hogger still alive down here. Whereas on the left side, Greymane is not getting attacked. He has all the time and space in the world to get himself another Siege Giant camp, and this is a big one. This is the tribute where the red team could technically try and get a curse, but since they don't have level 10, that's not happening. This, on the other hand, is interesting. Level 10 is there, and that boss might be fought over. Jojo isn't here. This is a 5 versus 4. Boss gets taken. Nicely done. Can they get at least some kills? It doesn't look like it, honestly. Instead, it's Greymane who finds himself on the receiving end of a stun combo that thankfully for the blue team didn't end up being of any consequence. But they are turning it on Chromie, and she is gone. The Chromester eliminated, and Greymane gets killed by Blaze. So yeah, Madara down the drain. That's a kill for a kill here. The problem for Blaze is that he's pretty much alone. Nobody's helping. They're not even trying. They're just sitting there like, yeah dude, you're on your own. I'm sorry bro, but that ain't happening. So the boss got claimed. They got 5 kills to 5 now. Both teams on level 11. That gets interesting. And the fort at the top got a bit scratched. Ah, what a gust by Dead Inside. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Hogger was trying to poke out, couldn't. Dead Inside hits the perfect angle, pushes him into the corner here, and then they can pick up another kill, which now is kill number 6 in this game. This is a really cool game. I gotta admit that I wasn't quite sure what to expect when we started with a lot of these RavenCourt games. I mean, we had in-house matches obviously before, but after a while the teams get together quite nicely. We had in-house games that we casted previously too, but the games have been very, very nice so far that we've gotten here. So, very enjoyable. Now, another tribute is of course spawning, and this time they are going to try for a curse again. The boss also is getting attacked here. So this is a bit of a weird one. They have to really split their attention on 2 things. And it seems like they abandoned at least the boss. Falstad is flying in. He might be a bit late to all of this, because Blaze is down and didn't even bunker up. Falstad is also dead, apparently flying directly into Greymane. And that means we're going to get an easy tribute for the blue team, but also the boss that they are working on already. So, yeah, job well done. Double kill for the blue team. It's a continuous back and forth. I mean, seriously, the entire game, all of the game, the entire game from start to finish was just like back and forth hits, kills, and plays being made here. Now we have 2 tributes to 2. The next one will curse a team one way or another. We get the mounted archery this time for Hanzo. And while we're also talking about like talents, let's have a look at the damage. We have 20,000 for Chromie, 22,000 for Hanzo. Bottom fort, that's another one that's going to fall on the red team side. But talking about things that are falling, it seems like this is going to be the end of Rhaegar. But he's not the only one that dies. It's always a counter kill. Blaze gone, Rhaegar gone. Every time, kill for a kill. That boss is a nuisance though. But look at who's coming in from behind. They're trying to go for another one and they take Hanzo down. Soy Boy gets eliminated. Yeah. Starbucks Boy is gone. Like, you just take a face at that beard and that face, and you know he's the one who goes for one of those crazy orders at Starbucks. He is gonna be one of those, yeah, but only like at this particular temperature, and I want my almond milk, and can I have like 2 shots of this and 3 of that? No, you have to make it again. I'm a real milk fan. I've tried almond milk and some of these other things. It just doesn't taste the same. If you give me a coffee with almond milk, it just like, it's nah. Like, give me some proven milk. So yeah, it's not a thing. Falset is dead again. He just gets farmed by Greymane right now. But up here at the top, Jojo got chased. Obviously, the blue team is now cursed, so that's another problem for them. They have to really deal with this. But the reason why I love this is because 2 forts have been destroyed by the blue team, right? So currently, when it comes to structures, the red team is behind. This curse that you just got could put them ahead a bit. The only issue that I see is that they currently don't seem to really capitalize on this curse. Instead, they're losing Chromie now. So Chromie gets eliminated too. It's a 5 versus 4. There's level 16. Another advantage for the blue team. Anduin is rushing away. In the middle of the map, we're most likely going to get another kill or not. Yeah, nice gust attempt. Good stun. At the Ancestral. At least they forced it out, but that was well done. Diablo has now fallen at the top though. You could have fooled me who cursed whom here. That curse doesn't really do anything. The top fort got destroyed, yes. Top fort got destroyed, and I guess they're going to get the fort at the bottom of the map as well. So I suppose at the end of the day, they got more out of it than I thought with that defense that was set up. Yeah, nice attempt at a stun. Unfortunately for Blaze, Anduin didn't quite get it. It is Hanzo that gets killed though. Hanzo stuns them out and then he's the one to fall. Still no level 16 talent for the red team, and now it shows as Anduin and Blaze are both eliminated. What a game. I mean, it's full fiesta all over the place. 13 kills to 10. So the curse at least removed 2 forts. 2 forts have been destroyed, the top fort and the bottom fort. We have 13 kills to 10, 1.5 level lead for the blue team, who did a decent job to get kills during the curse and prevent anything further from happening. But this game is just wild. I mean, it is really crazy now. So, yeah, very interesting game here, for sure. So, up at the top, dead inside, he's still doing his best on Falstad to keep them in experience range, and it allowed them to get level 16 talents. Anduin now transforming himself into the pull-out king, has a double trait now, so he can pull targets out of the fight even twice. I mean, even a bit more if he gets the... Madara, look at my boy! Look at my boy! I bitched on his mount earlier and just look at him. One game afterwards and he's immediately, alright, you're right. You got a point, Khaldor. This mount was shit. I'm going for something that is a bit more unique, you know, like epic. I want something that is epic. Epic, unique, super rare. Just look at this mount in all its glory. It's so much better than what it was riding before. Ah, it's so epic and so unique. Oh my god. It's like so much epicness, so much uniqueness, so much wow. So yeah, Madara, my boy. 13 kills to 10. Still 1 level ahead for the blue team, which could also result in an early level 20, of course. And once that Storm talents kick in, it's going to become a very, very different story. Because once you have level 20 and that composition that the blue team's running, you could technically go for a boss, maybe even a double boss. And they are also the ones that could still curse the opponent. Nice ancestral timing. Job well done by Cure. There's an arrow, Gus to save the day for Diablo, and Uki gets out. Okay. But camps have been now set en route. The blue team has a mercenary camp at the top and the mid lane. Blessed shield out, trying to stop it, particularly Anduin, but the bunker making sure that nothing is happening over here. This has to be reacted to eventually. And now with them rotating down, this is a freebie on... Now, is it? Can they interrupt? No, they can't interrupt. Oh, Diablo nearly did it! But now that he dove so deep, he finds himself on the receiving end of all the damage. Drops out quickly, gets pulled out by Anduin. Blaze and Hanzo are both dead again, but the curse has now hit, and this one is gonna be rough. Top side has to be defended, that's where Falstad is sitting, but they go for another camp now at the bottom of the map, and to make matters worse, with this mercenary camp and a few more minion waves, they're very quickly going to get access to level 20, and that Storm Talon couldn't have come at a worse time for the red team. Just around the push with Curse, yeah, you're gonna lose some ground, for sure. You're gonna lose one of those keeps, that's the minimum. Especially since Blaze isn't back yet. Then again, Hanzo obviously also still dead, but they could definitely do so much now. They are, on the other hand, retreating. Now, they can go for the boss and let the boss do the job, and I think that's the idea behind it. Needed, yeah, I mean, maybe they played a bit safer here, but obviously that keep at the bottom of the map has already taken a lot of damage, so the boss is going to eliminate it. The fort in the middle at least gets annihilated. But both of these objectives haven't really done as much as you would normally expect. The red team's objective has done a little bit more. High arrow, bye arrow. 14 to 11. And they're chasing, and they're killing. They're taking Diablo down, the Lord of Terror. Not so terrifying today. He's down for the full duration. So it's Chromie, which means that now without going for the boss, they can easily move in and take the keep. So took them a little bit longer to make that move, but yes, they're going for it. And they are taking this one apart. Question is, can they with a 5 versus 3 go for core, or are they first going for the boss? Well, if my try dies, then that's an easy answer, but thankfully they can save him. Another gust. It's all about buying time. Buying time for Diablo, buying time for Chromie, but the poke is now happening. Hey, they got a level 20 advantage, and they have a 5 versus 3 right now, but I'm not quite sure they can do this. Maybe? Yeah, shield. Yeah, okay, Blaze gone. As soon as you lose heroes in that situation, when you're already down a few, then you can obviously, yeah, just yield. Hit that surrender button that we don't have. And that is victory for the team with the 2 Americans. Victory on Cursed Hollow. GG.